Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and today I'm gonna try and get a little bit further at my battery power project. I have an old project that I want to power the house from batteries, not the data center but the rest of the house, and it has been so long since I've actually worked on this project, so I think we will do a short overview of my crazy plan. And I have to bother you again with please hitting that bell thing. YouTube has changed the algorithm so that if you really want to get notified of new videos from me or any of the other channels that you subscribe to, you have to hit that bell thing. Otherwise it will just, well, you're subscribed but it's not gonna recommend the videos for you. So if you enjoy my videos, please hit the bell thing. So let's go get an overview of what this crazy plan is. Okay, in here, in the very most of the creepy basement, I have put a UPS down here. It's an older model, but it's a 3000 watt, what is that? That is VA, and it's able to deliver 2250 watts, 15 amps. And the really special thing about this UPS is that it's driven by 2 times 48 volts. So each pair of these uses 48 volts. So I can kind of run 2 strings of 48 volt batteries to this UPS, and the UPS will convert those 48 volts to 220 volts, which we use here in Denmark. I had the cheapest piece of crap solar charger down here, and the solar power is coming in here from my solar panels, which we haven't seen in a while. Maybe we should go check those out. Okay, here is my solar panels. There are 26 of those, and these are the really old models. They do not supply that much power. All of these solar panels has a total of about 1 kilowatts of power, and the windmill does not really do anything. There is no wind here, so sadly that is not working. So I collect all the power from the solar panels in the garage here. It comes in, there is these junction boxes, and the cables go into this junction box where it's added up. Well, that's a better picture of it right there. The 6 solar panels in each row is being hooked together in that junction box. Goes into the shed. Oh, there's a mess in here. And it goes in here. Different wires, and it goes down into the basement through this jungle of stuff. And that's the cable that comes out here, goes into the solar charger, and it charges a single string of batteries, which is on there just to use the power for something. Then I have been experimenting using the power. I did a couple of videos, or at least one, I forget, where I tried to make warm water out of that. It did kind of work. It wasn't very effective, but I want to power the UPS up here with more battery power. I need to connect, I want rolls of ordinary lead acid batteries to power this, and I want rolls of lithium-ion batteries to power this, and I am working on the lithium-ion battery today. So here is the lithium-ion batteries that I'm hoping to get up and running. This should turn out to be a 48 volt battery, about 1 kilowatts of power right there. So it does take up a lot of space. I would need to make more of these, but first I need to make the first one and get that up and running to see if this will really work. And I was planning to try and get further on that today. Well, that was kind of the catching up part. I need to get up to 48 volts. These batteries are stacked in packs, and the different packs has to be of the same capacity to get the maximum result out of this battery. Otherwise it will run unevenly and I won't get the maximum power out of it. So I need to add up all the capacity of these batteries, and if you see the batteries, I have measured the capacity of each of the batteries. This one is 1524 milliamp hours. So I need to add up all these numbers and find out how much capacity to put in each of these rows. That's 10 batteries in one row, and they have to have the same capacity as the 10 batteries in the next row and all the other rows. The closer this is to be equal capacity in each of the rows, the better it is. So the really boring part is that there is only one way to do that, and that is to add up on a piece of paper all the capacity and divide it by the number of batteries and multiply that by 10. So I'm going to be doing that. At the same time, I'm going to be using my multimeter and checking all the batteries if there's still a good voltage on there. If the voltage has dropped under 3 volts, I will replace it with another battery. These has been sitting for quite a while, but they should be able to hold a voltage, and if they haven't done so, I'm gonna see them as a bad battery. So let's do the first couple of batteries and see where we are at. I'll start by taking out the first 10 batteries, and then I can measure them, make sure they're good, and put them back in and kind of remember that the first 10 I have done. So like that. Let's see, 4.14 volts, that's cool. So the capacity is 1618, and we'll put that back. And the next one, that's not a measuring thing. There is 140 batteries, so that's 1.6 volts. That's not good. So this one is dodgy. I'm gonna not use that one. 4 volts, cool. Over 4 volts. It's probably easier to just measure all of them at once. 4, 3.9, 4. All of these are good, so I'll write that down. All of these are very close in capacity because they came out of something that I have already sorted, so that's good. And I'm gonna add another battery because of the one that was broken. Of course, I'm gonna check this first. 4.18 capacity. And put the capacity in my old thing here. I'm gonna work on that. This is gonna get really boring, so well, see you when that's done. Okay, that was a lot of fun. I found a lot of bad batteries. There's 4 here, and up here I'm just trying to charge some of them, some of the one with bad voltages. I found 12 bad batteries out of 140 batteries. That's almost 10% bad batteries. So it was well worth it to measure all these batteries before I started soldering them together and using them in my spell sheet. So now I'll go and punch in all this crap and find out how much the average is in each of the cells, and we will work with that. So this 48 volt battery will be built by putting 14 individual blocks into a series. and each block is 10 cells like this. So doing the math over here, I have added up all the capacity of the batteries. I added one roll here and one roll and then I added all of that up at last, because it's very easy to lose track of how far you got with adding all of this crap. So I came to the conclusion that the total amount of milliamp hours was 227,864. I divided that by 140 cells. This means that the average cell has 1627.6 milliamp hours. Then added that by 10. That means that each of my cell blocks needs to have 16,276 milliamp hours. It doesn't need to be that precise, but well, I'm gonna try and hit that as good as possible. A little bit over, a little bit less on each of them. Okay, I'm getting there. This is taking way longer than than I was hoping for, but I have each of the banks. I try to hit one over, one less, one over, one less. I'm not gonna try and hit the exact number, that's too difficult, but I would like to show how I do that. So what I do is I take two batteries that are over. I need to hit an average about 1,627. So I take two batteries that are over. I find two batteries that are under. Here are two batteries that are under. Find another two that is over. And I find another two that is under. And then I try and get some that kind of hits the mark. Then there is 10 batteries here. Then I take the calculator, which in this case is my phone, and I punch in the number 16276 and minus, and then I add up all these batteries. Actually, I plus them to this number, plus. Then I can see that I'm 216 over. Then I'll look over at my batteries and see which numbers do I actually have over here. And I try to replace something. So 216. Well, I have some that is about 1500. So if I try and replace, let's just say this one, 1733. So I take the calculator and I subtract that, I take that out, minus 1733 equals. Then I need to find something that is about 1500. And I was just looking at something that just might work. This one is 1512. So I'll add that. There. So these 10 batteries combined will be 5 milliamp hours under my goal, which is okay. Okay, that is done, and that took way longer than I had hoped for. So now I can mount this, because this is pretty much how the battery bank is gonna be. And move along. So I bought enough of these plastic thingies, but I need 4 more. I'm still getting more batteries, and well, right now I'm not measuring them out as much because I really need to get this one up and running before I do more cells. So I'm gonna do that. This click system is pretty awesome. You just see there are small tabs on the sides, and there is slots on the other side, so you can kind of piece them together like this and build on that. So when this has the right length, you can kind of squeeze it over the batteries. And if you think this is very, very easy, well, it's actually not. So I'm gonna try and mingle this into place and persuade it to go down over the batteries. I think I forgot to say this, but I made sure that these 10 batteries plus is up, these 10 minus is up, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, and made sure that every battery is in the right position. Otherwise, I'm gonna mess this up. So, well, now it's in there very well, and this block of batteries is actually pretty movable now. That's awesome. Okay, so that I'm gonna be soldering on all of these batteries. So I need to find out if it's difficult to solder on the batteries or if it will take the solder pretty easily. I do have some flux, but is it really needed? So I'll check that. Oh, the solder goes on here really nicely. Cool. But I have some flux. I'm gonna see if that makes any difference whatsoever to try and give it just a little bit of flux on the batteries. Is that it? Well, it doesn't really seem like the flux does anything, so I'm just gonna go without it. Well, so it also takes quite a while to solder that. In my previous video, I showed that I wanted to do like this to connect the batteries together. Like this row is pluses and this row is minuses, and I want to put this in, and then I want to put small wires between the batteries and connecting to this bar here. And someone said that this was too little. This is 1.5 millimeter copper wire, and it's rated for about 16 amps. I was only planning on drawing, well, actually not drawing that much, and I have since then gotten the BMS for this. It's right here, and it's a 14 string BMS, means 14 cells, 14 blocks of cells actually, and 15 amps. These are available in bigger sizes, but I don't think I want to draw that much power out of these batteries. I'd rather have another one, and then the two of them combined will be 13 amps. And the slower you drain the batteries, the more power you can get out of them, and the longer they will last. So I was planning on getting about 15, maximum of 15 amps out of this. Actually, I was hoping to keep it down at about 10 amps, which means that each of the batteries will supply 1 amp, and they should be able to supply 1 amp in about 1.6 hours, right? But I do believe that I want to put some thicker cables on anyway. So I actually found that I have some. Up here on the second floor, I have bought some cable here, and this is 2.5 inch cables. We should make this draw a lot more power. So I'm gonna take a piece of this and bring it down to the basement. So I cut off about a meter or so. I'm gonna strip off the insulation and use the cables. See if I can do this. Oh, crap. There. And there's a lot of cables in that. Oh, there's kind of a plastic thingy. That's not gonna work. But there is 5 cables in that, so I have enough cover for probably 5 of these. But well, I'll have to uninsulate these as well. I'll do that. Okay, it's clear to see that this is a bit thicker. This should be 1.5 millimeters and this should be 2.5 millimeters. So I have to measure out how much I need to use for this thing, and I'm gonna do it very mathematically by putting it there and moving it over here and moving it even further there and adding a little bit there and cutting that. Now we're gonna measure that so that I don't have to do that every single time. We're gonna do that in centimeters. Let's see, let's try and straighten this just a little bit. Oh, let's just say it's 25.2 centimeters. Okay, I'll try and make one of these and we'll see how much I have to cut off. Okay, I have made it so far. I made 2 bends in it, and it's clearly too long over here, so I'm gonna make the bend and I'm gonna try and cut some of that off. There, I want it to go down. So one of them is considerably longer than the other one, so I'll see how much. This one is okay, so we could just measure that. This is 0.7 and this is 1.7, so I have to kind of cut off a centimeter. So we'll do that. Actually, I'll just put these two together and I'll just cut them equal length, but kind of knowing that I'm removing about a centimeter. So the total amount of string that I need to do every time is about 24.5 centimeters, I guess. So let's see if this is good. This is a little bit too long. Okay, so this will kind of sit here. I'm gonna give it some hot glue to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, I have prepared one more of these and I'm gonna be gluing that on now, but I think this video has become way too long already, so I'm gonna end it here and we're gonna be getting into this in the next video in this, on this. I really want to get some batteries of these up and running to power that UPS so I can utilize more of my solar panels power. Most of this work is really boring, sitting here and soldering 140 batteries on one side and turning it around and soldering 140 batteries on the other side, but it has to be done and I don't have anyone else to do it. So, well, thank you very much for watching my videos. Do give this video a like if you didn't hate it too much. Do also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.